Well, good morning, fellas. CNC Woodworker here with you again. Well, this has been an interesting morning to say the least. Started out doing another test carve. Thought about all night what my problem was, and I thought, well, you know, I just need to double check my tension on my belts. So I came in this morning and I looked at my belts, and yeah, they were kind of loose, not as tight as they could be. So I took my Y belts and my X belt and tightened them up quite a bit, put a lot more tension on them, and I started to carve, and everything was looking good. It's carving along here, it was doing fine, cutting square, and then all of a sudden, boy, it come along here and zip right down through here, right down through my T, and over here, zip, it went down through there, and I thought, what in the world? So I stopped it, and I looked at it, and I didn't really see anything wrong, so I started again, and I went over here to this little boy. And I started it, and right off the bat, boy, it starts going here and going here and going all around, just crazy. And I thought, my goodness. So I stopped everything. I said, something's got to be wrong. And I got to looking, and for some reason, my X carriage wasn't moving. Well, investigated and looked and found out that my set screws on my X carriage drive belt were those little set screws on that gear were loose, and the motor was just spinning inside of there. So shut everything down, turn everything off, took everything apart that I could to get down to my X motor, so I could X stepper motor, so I could tighten up those set screws. And I did tighten them as tight as I could get them. Notice the Allen wrench was kind of spinning in it some, so I couldn't really get them real tight. Good old Chinese aluminum Allen wrench was rounding itself over. Anyhow, I put it back together, tightened it up, and started carving. And let's see if I can get to this one, if that's coming out here. Started carving this one, and it was carving along, and it was doing great. This was coming out clean and clean and clean all around here. Everything was looking good. Uh-oh, I lost my focus. Get my hand out of there, I guess. Anyhow, it was looking pretty good right in here. And all of a sudden I saw something black laying over here on my wasteboard. I thought, what in the world? And I picked it up, and would you know it, it's one of my set screws. So I stopped, turned everything off, got to looking, and one of the set screws on my top Z-axis gear had come completely out. So I said, well, this is crazy. Let me go ahead and just shut everything down, take everything apart as much as I need to, recheck and retighten all my set screws, which is what I did as much as I could. I got on my Y-axis stepper motors and the gear on them, and by then my little Allen wrench had just pretty much wore itself out. It wouldn't tighten anymore. But as far as I could tell, the Y-axis were okay. So called Inventables, talked to them, and they said, yeah, it could be that Allen wrench is wore out. They'd send me another one. That was nice of them. So I said, okay, got everything tightened up. Went back to carving. Got over here. Let me see if I can find this one. Right there, and everything looked good. I'm going along. I mean, this is just as smooth in here as can be, and in here, a couple of little areas in here didn't quite get cleaned out, but no biggie. I took my fingernail and just raked it right off, and I said, okay, that's satisfactory. Let me change out to my 1/8 inch bit and do the other part, do the finish part. Well, kind of find out what I had cut this with here. This one, I had cut that with the 1/8 inch bit. Well, that ain't gonna work. I can't test nothing with that. So off we went, changed back to the 1/4 inch bit. Let's see if I can get this to come out. And move this back a little bit. And we carved, whoop, that ain't it, that's too high. We carved this one. We put the 1/4" bit back into the machine, and it carved this one. And this one came out pretty good. It's smooth here on the edges, here and here and here, smooth all the way around the letters. Everything looks good. So, lesson learned. Check your set screws. And don't do like me. If you're building a machine or going to build a machine in the near future, when it comes to putting those set screws in, use Loctite on them. I don't recall anywhere in the instructions that it said to do that. But talking with Inventables, they said, yeah, that's a real good idea. Why don't you do that? So, when I get my new Allen wrench in, I'm going to take all my set screws loose, take them all out, put Loctite on them, and put them back in with Loctite. Hopefully I won't have this problem again. So I'm assuming that, and let me change one more time, that, whoops, wrong nut. Where are we? Here we go. I'm assuming that all the problems I had here with all this weird carving and all this weird carving and all this stuff and this other one was due to the fact that my set screws were loose and my X carriage wasn't going back tracking the same every time. It wasn't as loose here on these pieces, but as I got on down doing the others, it loosened up enough to where I finally realized there was a problem. So what I'm going to do is pause, reset my camera up on that last letter I carved, and we're going to test this thing. I've got to move it. I haven't turned it off, but I've got to move it to change the bit. I'm going to change the bit. I'm going to reset the 0 on that bit, and then we're going to see if it actually remembers the 0 that I used to start carving that. So we'll be back with you shortly. Well, folks, I believe this experiment has come to an end. This rough carve, finish carve, or whatever they call it, 2-carve thing, it's just not working for me. Now, I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong. I'm following the instructions. According to Zach, it remembers the 0. Well, I went back up after I had to move it to change my bit. I set it back near the original 0, approximately. Re-zeroed the bit to the top of the board, the new bit, and told it to start carving. And well, as you can see, it took off about a ½ inch up past the other rough cut carving, carved all the way across and come back down a little bit to the right of the rough cut carving. And you can see I cut it off there at that point. It obviously wasn't going back to the original 0, so I don't know what to do. And until I get an explanation from Inventables as to what is happening, this is the end of my rough cut, finish cut, dual cut experiments. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Something's not right. Either I'm not doing something correctly, or something in the software is not working right. So till I get an answer, it's been fun, it's been real, but it's not been real fun. So that's it for now. And remember, even when things aren't going your way and you're as frustrated as I am, enjoy your carving. Bye.